It's okay. So what we are saying. So we're just talking about the concept of Day of Judgment. So the concept that this is something that really keeps us in check. This is what really puts us on track sometimes. That that makes us do good deeds because we know. Yeah. So we just always we bear this in mind that there is a Day of Judgment coming where we are going to be judged for our actions. So this the Surah Fatiha beautifully transitions into this. Just after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, the love, the care, the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even more than our mothers, he mentions straight away, Malik Yawmiddin, he's the owner of Judgment Day. So just to give us that fear in us, that we just need to be very aware, very conscious that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is always watching us. Okay? Just check 1 second, is anything else? We are fine. So yeah, so we said this means to get what we deserve. So yes, so I'm going to be judged by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so I can't do whatever I want. So that's the thing. So we know from hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam that he said, this world is like a prison. It's like a prison to the believer, to the Muslim. So and I think now we can understand what that means a bit more as well because of the lockdown situation we're in, because of the fact that we've been in the situation that it's a prison for us, meaning we can't do whatever we want. We're always restrained. Like a believer, a Muslim is someone who's always restrained because we may have desires, but we always have to restrain ourselves because we know we're not gonna. We want our reward. We want to fulfill our desires after the Day of Judgment. When we get to Jannah, that's where we can have whatever we want. So in this life, this is a test. So we know that we are going to be restricted with what we can do, with what we can see, with what we can eat. So maybe you look at other people you think, oh, this person is so lucky, he's so fortunate, he's got so much money, look at his cars, look at his houses, they really impress you. But we have examples of this in the Quran. What happened to who knows the story of QAROON, for example, at the time of Prophet Musa? What was the story of QAROON?
Yeah, I know because.
Okay, so what did he say? Okay, 1 second.
Basically, what happened is that Prophet Musa threw the stone at.
So QAROON, the QAROON, remember, he's a person.
Yeah, bad guy.
So he was somebody that he was from the children of Israel, from Bani Israel, from the people that are being oppressed. But he was quite intelligent. He started to work his way up. He started to make a lot of money, and he started becoming a very close friend of Fir'aun at the time. The Pharaoh, the mean, the really oppressive, the nasty Pharaoh of Egypt. So QAROON, he became a very, very close friend of Pharaoh. Why? Because he started making so much money. So what actually ended up?
And then what happened is that he's so proud that he got money. Then after all his money got lost, and then he drowned, and all his house drowned.
Okay, exactly. Okay, yeah. So actually, what happened was because he was so proud, because we know that he had so much money that his keys, he needed so many people just to carry his keys to his vault where he used to keep his gold. He used to have people to carry his keys. Can you believe it? This guy was so rich, and he had so much money, but the problem was he was so proud, and he said, I have made all my money because of my efforts. He didn't attribute this success to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he used to walk around with so much pride. And he had so much. And one day he was walking around on his whatever he had, his maybe his horse, and he had some, his carriages where he had all his gold, his keys. He was so proud. And the people, they were watching him and saying, oh, look at him. I want to be like this guy. He's got so much money, he's so rich. I wish I was like QAROON. So these were people of these were, you say, Muslims of the time, because these were from the Bani Israel, the people of Musa alayhi salam. They're saying, oh, I wish I was like QAROON. Look at him, he's so rich. What happened? In front of their eyes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala caused the earth to open up and swallow this guy up. Swallow him up and swallow all his money. It all got buried underground, and he died, and everything got lost. And the very people that were standing there saying, oh, I wish I was like QAROON, they said, oh, subhanallah, astaghfirullah, we don't want to be like him. How Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has protected us. We don't want to be like him. When they saw what's happening in front of their eyes, they said, we don't want to be like him. So this is a reminder, these in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions these examples. is that you can't do whatever you want. And we don't look at people that have more than you. Always look at people that have less than you, people that are less fortunate than you, because only then you will be grateful. If you look at people who are, who have less than you, um, you look at them, and then that will make you grateful because you have, with what you have. But don't look at people that have more than you, because that's just going to make you just, it's just going to make you just very hard to not grateful. It's going to be hard for you to be grateful. So, inshallah, we we know that this world is like a prison, so we can't have whatever we want, but it doesn't mean we don't have the good things of this dunya, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promises, like, if you work for the akhirah, if you work to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He'll give you in the dunya as well. So you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about getting things in this world. You'll get that automatically because the risk of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But focus your efforts towards the akhirah, towards the day of judgment, that there is a time coming where we'll be judged. So this is just an important lesson we have. And we know no one is going to be wronged, even like a speck of dust, like we said, even a tiny even a tiny thing, because the book that is going to be given to you, yes, we know about the book, that it's going to have every single thing that you've done. It's going to be there. Nothing is going to be missing from that book. So we are going to see everything that we did. So no one is going to be wronged. There'll be no injustice on that day. And even we know, for example, that the animals are going to be raised. Who knew that? Do you know that? On the day of judgment, all the creation is going to be raised. Even the animals are going to be raised on the day of judgment. So what's going to happen? Does anybody know what's going to happen then when the animals are raised on the day of judgment?
They're gonna turn to dust.
What's going to happen? So why are the animals going to be raised? Because obviously only the human beings and the jinn, only we are accountable for our actions, right? So why would Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, why would He raise the animals?
Because the animals were told if other animals were bad to other animals.
Okay, yes. So eventually they will turn to dust, but firstly, before they turn to dust, the justice of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take place. So, animals, even they have fights amongst themselves, and so maybe one bird is going to be raised and say, that bird, there's that bird, and that bird really, was really, he had a fight with me, and he really hurt me. I want to get my justice. And on the day of judgment, that, there's going to be like billions and billions of people standing there. If you have anything against anybody, if anybody has wronged you, you just have to think of that person. You just have to mention that person. That person is going to be brought in front of you. So we shouldn't think that, oh, how will we see people that somebody's wronged on the day of judgment? There's so many people, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make that person come right in front of you. The person that may have wronged you, you can get your right back from that person. So the same with animals. An animal is going to say, oh, this animal wronged me. They stole my food. They hurt me. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make the animal get their justice back on day of judgment. So they can get their rights back. They can, however it is, they'll get their rights back. And once they've got their rights back, then the animals are going to be turned to dust. Then there'll be no further judgment. But that won't be before. They will have their justice done. So because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most just, even the animals, they'll get their justice. SubhanAllah. So this is really amazing, So what happens if you forget who did wrong to you? So that's a good thing then for the person that that's a good thing for the person that did wrong, because that means but on that day everybody's going to be so needy for their good deeds that anybody that did any wrong to you, you will remember by default. You will remember, like, people are going to be so in need of good deeds that anybody that wronged you, you will remember who wronged you. You will remember what that wrong was, and you will get that justice back. So that's the reason why right now in this life, we should be careful. Whatever deeds we do, like we do some, sometimes we do some deeds. Maybe we weren't very attentive in our prayers. We weren't very. We did a sin. We did something that we disobeyed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We can ask for forgiveness from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He will forgive us, inshallah. But if you wrong somebody now, you should really ask for forgiveness from them straight away. Say to them, sorry, forgive me, because you don't want to drag it on to the day of judgment, because at that point you don't know whether that person is going to forgive you or not, because that person will need good deeds on the day of judgment. So that is very dangerous. That's why, be careful of harming others, taking other people's rights. That's what we should really be careful of. What we say to people, you know, anything. Don't talk behind people's backs. Don't do anything which is going to be something that potentially could mean that people are going to take their rights away from you, because this is the most dangerous thing. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He will not forgive you. He will say, no, get your forgiveness from the person that you wronged. And that person, if that person doesn't forgive you, then we're going to be in trouble. So inshallah, yeah, so just be careful. Don't take the rights of other people, and if you have, just ask for forgiveness in this world, because um, that's going to be, a very, very, very key point for us on the Day of Judgment. So inshallah, we don't have this baggage of harming other people, and inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He forgives our mistakes, and He forgives, the times that we were, that mistakes we made in terms of worship. So that's a very important point. So okay, so inshallah this answers my questions when, this person said, oh, what about, I can do whatever I want. Where's justice? But no, Malik Yawmiddin, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He's the owner of the Day of Judgment. This answers my questions. So, okay, so inshallah, what we'll do, we can break off there, and just a few things to think about that we mentioned, and from next week, inshallah, from Tuesday onwards, we'll carry on with the Fatiha, and we'll just try and go through, and we'll try and go through as much as we can, and we try and just tie everything together like we're doing. So in the meantime, just keep, when you recite the Fatiha in your prayers, in your salah, and just generally when you have some time, just ponder, just think about what we talked about, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, Malik Yawmiddin. Now the meaning should just be in your head automatically, like it should just flow, like, it should just flow nicely, and we're starting to see the balance in the Fatiha. So how amazingly balanced the Fatiha is. So that's where we stop off, inshallah. Is there any questions anybody has before we just break off? Okay, 1 second. I think we have a question. Yes, you can just mention it here. Yep. So,
where would hellfire people see Jannah people?
when would hellfire people see Jannah people?
Yeah, when they talk.
So this is this is only that particular incident we mentioned, that was in Surah Al-Mudaththir, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says the people of Jannah, they were talking amongst each other about people that they don't see anymore and that have ended up in hellfire, and a small window is going to be open. So it's only the people of Jannah that they can talk to the people of hellfire. But the people of hellfire, they will not be able to, from their own means, they can't talk to people of Jannah. It's just the other way around. But also we know, don't forget as well, that
how come the Jannah people talk to them?
Because Allah, the Jannah people, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He allows the two-way conversation between the people of hellfire, people of Jannah.
How come if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows
The conversation?
Yeah, conversation.
Yeah.
Then why can't hellfire people speak?
So they do speak, because they're replying, isn't it? They're saying, why did you end up in hellfire? And the people of hellfire are saying, we didn't used to pray regularly, we didn't feed the poor, we used to waste our time, we forgot about the Day of Judgment until death struck us. So this is because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows this. And also remember that, the good people will have, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give the good people also shifa'ah. Jazakallah khairan. Okay. So if you thanks for attending, and you can, inshallah, we'll speak soon, and so if those who want to break off, inshallah, we'll catch up soon. Jazakallah khairan for listening, and I hope inshallah, your children are benefiting, yourselves are benefiting from the lessons. So what we are saying is that the people, the good people can actually make shifa. They can actually choose. They can actually take people out of hellfire as well by the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will allow people to maybe give them a certain number of people that they can take out of the hellfire because they've been good, just because of the good deeds. Maybe other people that maybe people that you knew. So always do good deeds. Always just look to do good deeds. So So we don't know the exact amount of people. There are different hadiths, different narrations. The good people are going to be able to take out people from the hellfire by the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So just like the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he will do shifa'ah. He will be able to take out people from the hellfire by the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So will the good people as well. And they'll have like a small limit as well. So it's like we hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you do good. And you hope that inshallah, we all, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he forgives us all. We end up in Jannah. And Jazakallah khairan as well, everyone, for listening and for benefiting. And what we will do, we'll break off. Is there anything else anybody wants to mention?
No, thank you. No, thank you.